Okay, we sing the national anthem. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Zambia, proud and free, land of wake and joy, unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We won freedom's fight, all one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Bless our great nation. Free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia. Praise to thee, all one, strong and free. A prayer from the audience, please.
Shall be that which brings glory to your name. It's in Jesus' name that we pray with a lot of thanksgiving in our hearts. Amen.
Amen. You can take our seats. And thank you all for responding to this call, and thank you for coming at a short notice. At this juncture, we'll go ahead and invite the president of PEP and the running mate, Mr. Sean Tembo, to give us the opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair, and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We requested for your audience this morning, and through you, the audience of the Zambian people, so that we can provide an update on the issues surrounding the election nomination of ourselves on the presidential ticket, as well as 167 members of parliament candidates who were supposed to file in their election nominations on our party ticket, as well as 6 mayoral candidates across the country, about 57 council chairpersons, and about 969 councillor candidates who were all not able to file in their election nominations as a result of the discrepancies that were there at the Registrar of Societies under the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. So to provide that update, I'll call upon my president, who is the 2026 presidential candidate for the Patriots for Economic Progress, Engineer Chanda Katotobwe. Mr. President, sir.
Thank you. Good morning. I'll proceed and read the press statement, which will later on give you copies, members of the press. Fellow citizens and members of the media, as previously intimated through the party's previous press statement, dated 22nd of May 2026, the Patriots for Economic Progress presidential ticket, consisting of myself, Engineer Chanda Katotobwe, as presidential candidate, and my colleague here, Mr. Sean Tembo, as running mate, was not able to successfully file in its nomination on the scheduled day of 20th May 2026 before the returning officer at Mulungushi International Conference Center due to unauthorized, and this must be must be highlighted, due to unauthorized changes that were made on the party's records on 8th May 2026 and 21st May 2026, which records are maintained at the Registrar of Societies under the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. As previously intimated, two material unauthorized changes were made to the party's record. The first was that the party was recategorized as a church organization whose principal activities were designated as ministry and preaching, as per copy of printout dated 8th May 2026, annexed hereto as Exhibit A. This meant that the party could no longer undertake any political activities, including filing in a presidential nomination or indeed election nomination for that matter. The second change was with regard to office bearers. The position of Secretary General was reallocated to two new office bearers, one of whom is deceased, without any authority from the party, without any supporting documents such as a letter from the party or a resolution of an annual general meeting or general conference. Thirdly, after making frantic efforts to engage officials at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, who included the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Dickson Matembo, Acting Chief Registrar of Societies, Mr. Jason Mwambazi, and Senior Registrar of Societies in charge of political parties, Mr. Harold Chinda, to try and resolve this matter on 20th and 21st of May 2026. We noted that these government officials were adamant to address our issue and even appeared to rejoice that we were unable to file in our nominations. This prompted us to write to the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, on 22nd May 2026, requesting for his intervention, given that the officials at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security ultimately report to him. Unfortunately, we wish to confirm that to date, there has been no response from President Hakainde Hichilema regarding this issue. In our quest to try and resolve this matter and ensure that we file in our presidential nomination as well as election nominations of 167 members of parliament, 6 mayors, 57 council chairpersons, 969 councillors across the country who had paid nomination fees totaling 3,969,000 kwacha. We proceeded to engage other key bilateral, multilateral, regional, and international leaders who included, among others, the President of the United States of America, His Excellency, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Ostensibly, as a result of our engagement and appeal to various key stakeholders of democracy in the region and the world, we saw the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Mr. Dickson Matembo, issuing a statement on Wednesday, 29th May, 2026. In his press statement, Mr. Matembo stated that the Patriots for Economic Progress was a political party and had always been a political party, and that its office holders had never changed since registration of the party on 5th October 2016. And yet, the Permanent Secretary failed to explain the origin of the printout of our party records, which Electoral Commission of Zambia presented to us during the presidential nomination filing in process at Mulungushi, which showed our party as a church organization that was not eligible to file in a nomination, and which also indicated an altered record of our office bearers, which is annexed to this press statement as Exhibit A. During our various engagement with officials at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, our position regarding our party has always been clear. Firstly, our party was registered as a political party and not as a church organization. And that is why the party was able to take part in the 2021 general elections at all levels. Secondly, that the office holders of our party have never changed since registration of the party on 5th October 2016. This is the same position that was reiterated by Permanent Secretary in his press statement issued on 27th May 2026, but the government has failed to explain the source of the printout which ECZ, Electoral Commission of Zambia, used to disqualify us. In our party records, if our party records are still intact and our organization is still a political party, then why did Electoral Commission of Zambia disqualify us during the filing in of our nominations? Also, how does government explain Exhibit A, which is a printout that was given to us by Electoral Commission of Zambia, which clearly shows our party as a religious organization whose activities are ministry and preaching, and altered office bearers in which deceased person was indicated as Secretary General of the party, and which ECZ used as a basis for our disqualification. Fellow citizens, members of the media, at this point it has become evident to us that there was a well-choreographed plan by specific government officials within the UPND government to prevent our party from filing in election nominations and our presidential election bid through an alteration of our party records that are maintained at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. It is our belief that as soon as the objective of disqualifying us was achieved, the said alteration was then reversed. We wish to categorically state that this unauthorized alteration of our party records to prevent us from filing in our nomination is not about political gimmicking. It is not about mingalato. It is about brazen and shameless criminality. This is crime. Pure and simple, it is simply just crime. We wish to promise those government officials that have been involved in this criminality that we shall hold you accountable at the right time. Fellow citizens, members of the media, it is worth noting that the Patriots for Economic Progress had parliamentary candidates in each of the 15 constituencies in which UPND party has claimed to have gone through unopposed, and that had it not been for Electoral Commission of Zambia preventing us from filing in our nominations across the country on the basis of falsified party records, no single UPND parliamentary candidate would have gone unopposed. Therefore, it is our firm position that all the UPND MPs who claim to have gone through unopposed are illegitimate, as they are a product of a criminal enterprise orchestrated by specific officials of the government of Republic of Zambia. As earlier stated, all those involved in this criminal scheme shall be held accountable at the right time. For now, we shall leave everything in the hands of our Almighty God. I would like to say, I thank you. Thank you, Zambians, and thank you all.
At this juncture, we shall invite questions. So you introduce yourself, the media house you represent, and then you can ask your question.
Maybe, Chair, before we go to the questions, I think the issue in question is the printout which ECZ gave to us when we went to file in our nominations, and which was used as a basis to disqualify us. When the PS 2 days ago was addressing our issue, he did not address the issue of this printout. And this printout is very clear. So maybe we are not reading it properly. I'll ask one of the members of the public to just read certain portions of this printout. Mr. Fuman, just come in front of it. You're afraid? Mr. Alfonso, you know how to read? Come and read for us what is written here.
Please, Mr. Alfonso.
On top there, what's the name of that party? I want the cameras to be seen. It says what? The name of this party. Just on top.
Patriots for Economic Progress.
It says Patriots for Economic Progress. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. And then on the activities here, which is cycled, what does it say? Activities?
Ministry and preaching.
Ministry and preaching?
Yes.
And then on the nature of persons who are members, what does it say there? Second?
Objectives society.
Here, what does it say? Second.
Or second. Church members.
It says we are church members, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes. So there is this printout, which clearly shows that when we went to ECZ, as at that day we were doing the nomination, our party was a religious organization and we were church members. Okay? There's this printout. And now we are being told by the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs that our party has never been a church organization, that it has always been a political party, and that our office bearers have never changed. But we can see clearly, based on the printout that was used to disqualify us. You see what is happening, huh? So my appeal to you, the media, before you ask questions, my appeal to you is you go back to the permanent secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, and ask him to say, can you explain this printout which ECZ gave to the Patriots for Economic Progress on the 20th of May, and which was used as a basis for our disqualification? We need an explanation from him. He cannot just say PEP has always been a political party and they've never been a religious organization and their members have never been outed without addressing this printout. We need him to address this printout. We need him to address this printout. We are not asking for too much. We are just asking him to address this printout. Where did the ECZ get this printout? Or maybe ECZ just printed this printout by themselves. So maybe you need to ask both the Registrar of Societies and ECZ. Ask ECZ, ask Mr. Is it Matasikota at ECZ, who gave us this printout, to say, where did you get the printout that you gave to the presidential nomination team from PEP and which you used as a basis for their disqualification? They need to answer. We cannot leave this matter just in abeyance, just like that. There has to be an answer. So I challenge you, the media. It's your duty and responsibility to make sure you come to the bottom of this matter. And the only way you can come to the bottom of this matter is to get an explanation from the government officials where this printout came from. If we've always been a political party, where did this printout come from, which categorizes us as a religious organization and the members of this organization as church members? Where did this come from? All right, we can proceed to the questions. I just thought I should emphasize that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. President. Based on that,
Please, if you don't mind, do you understand, introduce yourself and the media you represent? Thank you.
I'm a freelance journalist.
Okay.
Yes, based on that anomaly, Mr. President, don't you think the Registrar of Society should resign, including Mwangala also, based on that anomaly? Thank you.
Do you mind standing, please?
So Lawrence come from Hot FM. The question is,
The questions to briefing today, to what was briefed today. Questions should be limited to this.
I were according to you and to explanation, you are already disqualified. Are you planning to take any immediate legal precaution that probably will see you back on the ballot?
We can get a third one, then I'll run through the questions as well again. Yes, please.
Alfonso is my name from Power. Just in addition to my colleague from Prof. FM, are you likely to take legal action to stop this August election based on what you have just alluded to the public? Thank you.
So from Mr. Fumani, the first question was asking that basing on what we have in our hand, which is the printout, don't you think that the Registrar of Society and then the ECZ chairperson should resign, if I got you right?
Yes.
Okay, then Hot FM and Power FM, they're sharing the same question, that are you planning to take any legal action against perpetrators of that information in our hand, which caused PEP to be disqualified?
As to whether those two officials you mentioned should or should not resign, I think it comes down to the responsibility for this anomaly. Who bears the responsibility? From our assessment, if this anomaly came about as a mistake, then the moment we brought it to the attention of the relevant government officials, they should have quickly rectified it. If it was a mistake, they would have said, sorry, either our systems were, hacked, or when capturing the data, one of our data entry clerks made a mistake, and then they would have rectified it, and then we would have been given a fresh printout of our records, which we would have taken to ECZ, and would have proceeded with the filing in of nominations. Yes. If it was an honest mistake, that is our assessment. So the fact that the officials at the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security were reluctant to address the issue, and they kept changing positions. 1 minute they say the changes were made from an internet cafe by a person called Prince Care. The other minute they say, no, there has never been any changes, And also the fact that when we appealed to the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for him to intervene, he has kept us on scene up to now with no response, despite the urgency of the matter at hand, despite the fact that this goes to the very, very bottom of the democratic processes of this country, the constitutionalism of this country. We've, had no response from the head of state. From our standpoint, it speaks volumes. And the volumes that it speaks is that the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, endorses what transpired to us. He endorses that. Because if he didn't endorse that, he would have taken quick action, timely action. The President is not out of the country, he's around. And when we wrote to him, we are sure that that letter must have reached him. So for him to keep quiet about our issue and indirectly allow about 15 UPND members of parliament to go unopposed in this election because we were prevented from filing in our nominations across the country on the basis of altered records and one of his government ministries. To us, it speaks volumes. That is why we are emphasizing that the people involved in this scheme will and shall be held accountable at the right time. I want you to underline the term at the right time. There is always accountability at the right time. For now, people might feel that they can do as they please because they are under the protection of someone who endorses or tolerates their behavior. Someone who tolerates and endorses their criminality. And they may feel untouchable. They may feel untouchable. But a time shall come, and it will come, when they will be touchable and when they will be held accountable. That's a promise that I, on behalf of my party, would like to make to the Zambian people. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me answer the other two questions, which are all interrelated in relation with the legal action. First and foremost, I would want to state that we are doing this out of the love of our country. We are patriots, we are nationalists, and we love our country. So what you're seeing us doing here is not for personal beneficiation, no. This is for the benefit of our country. It's for the benefit of our society. What has happened to our presidential bid should not be happening in a normal democratic space. It shouldn't be happening. Such things, it's dents the credentials of Zambia globally, because this is just bizarre. You can't have a system where you take your credentials and you're sure that your credentials are in order, because we have done elections before. We've undergone election processes before. My colleague here participated in the 2021 elections. I participated at parliamentary level. So we know the processes, we know the requirements, we know the set out criteria of eligibility. So we are not the type of personalities that can embark on a mission when we don't meet the eligibility criteria as set out in the Zambian constitution. So what must be borne is that we did meet the set out criteria vis-a-vis the eligibility of presidential candidates and presidential tickets in accordance with the Zambian constitution. And that's why we went to participate in the filing in process. Now, when it comes to legal action and the possibility of cancelling elections, for now, we would want to keep our options open, and we will at the right time, embark on, would let the press know the decisions we'll take, and the actions we may take could also include the legal action. So we reserve the right for further action, but not limited to legal action only. Would want to see how far this matter will go. But where we have reached now, it is clear that there is no intention, there is no intervention for us to be on the ballot paper. And it was deliberate, it was orchestrated, it was a plot which was plotted to bar us from contesting this year's presidential and general elections. Now, contesting these elections should not be held by individuals or institutions. No, it's a constitutional right. It's a constitutional right that every Zambian holds, that if you want to aspire to any position, including the position of the president of this country, once you meet eligibility, you are free and you are backed by the Zambian constitution to go and present your credentials and participate in the election at presidential level. This is not a mandate held by ECZ. This is not a mandate held by Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. This is a mandate, prescribed in the Zambian constitution, and that goes to the fundamental core of our freedoms. Every Zambian has the right to participate in any election at any level of their choice, as long as they meet eligibility, which we did. For now, we will reserve our action, including legal action. We reserve the right, which legal action to take. But practically speaking, it may not be possible, irrespective of what action we take, including legal action, to stop the elections from proceeding. it's very unlikely that you have an order to say the election has been halted based on this. Not in this democratic dispensation. I thank you.
Okay, we can proceed to receive some more questions, please. If there are no questions, we can wrap up. In the absence of questions, I would call upon the PEP president, Mr. Sean Tembo, to give us some closing remarks.
Thank you, Chair. Well, we want to thank you, members of the media, and through you, the people of Zambia who have followed this matter. We've seen that some of the citizens see this as a job. Based on the comments that we see on social media, they see it as a job, which we find very regrettable. We find extremely regrettable because we only have one nation. We only have one Zambia. We don't have several Zambias in a bank account which we can withdraw from time to time. We don't. And the expectation is that any reasonable citizen, any mature citizen with reasonable mindset would be interested in the way the governance of their country is actually conducted and not see a joke where there is no joke. So my appeal is to the rest of the citizens of this country to be more responsible in discharging their civic duties, which include holding their government accountable. They shouldn't take everything as a joke. These are serious matters which require serious questions to their government leaders. They need to answer specific questions as to what transpired here. That will ensure that we build a Zambia which we can all rejoice in. So that's my general appeal to the good citizens of this republic. Let us be responsible. Let us not see a joke in everything we do. Let us build a better country for ourselves, for our children. And it starts individually with each one of us. I thank you.
At this juncture, I would ask that we all rise for the national anthem. 1, 2, 3, go. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of wake and joy, unity, victors in the struggle for their rights. We've won freedom's fight. Oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be. Praise our great nation, Zambia, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia. Praise to thee, O one, strong and free. A volunteer from the audience to pray for us as we close.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing this meeting to take place. We thank you for the provision of life. We pray that you continue guiding us and the nation. In Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. So please, media, we can help.